Hello and welcome to Life Daily with Dawn. We are continuing our All Systems Go video series, and today we're talking about the Mission Map system, which is one of 8 seed systems within the 24 system set of life systems or solar systems to come to life and live in full expression. And the Mission Map system, to connect to your essential self, includes 8 momentum action pathways to connect to and communicate your life's calling and your soul's sacred mission. So let's take a look at the mission map and the system for full life thriving. There are 8 momentum action pathways. Let's review those. The first is open up a channel within. First, you got to connect. All of these 8 seed systems are about interconnection. Well, really all 24 are about interconnection, but in particular, these first 8 work together, and they are very much about anchoring in the light that you are, and then opening up a channel to access that light and get it flowing freely. It's about tapping into your life's meaning and purpose. And so this system in particular, sorry for the noise outside, this particular system, the Sacred Mission Map, is again an inside-out system for life thriving. So open up a channel within. So what you want to do is establish an authentic connection with what matters most. And to do that, you have to really, really spend some time immersing yourself in your heart and soul. So one way to do this is to just begin with a simple question or a desire. It may relate to a direction, a life direction, or it could also be a question or a desire that's born out of a painful life circumstance or a blind spot or a sacred wound. But come to this question or this life desire, direction, again, it can be almost anything, and begin with an attitude of curiosity and just sit with the question and be with it quietly. And then ask more questions. I used to call these quest ions when I would lead these excursions or workshops to examine certain issues for self-discovery. Back when I did the Make Your Healing Matter Telesummit, which was like 2012, I think, and no, 2009 or 10 actually. But in any case, so questions can lead us on a trail of self-discovery, and they can lead us back to a place where we are able to, if you think of the concept of ionization, that's why I called it quest ions, it can lead us back to a place where we're able to, spark something new and to really get the juices flowing, and then so this whole idea of this first momentum action pathway here in the Sacred Mission Map is to open up that channel. So it's about establishing an authentic connection and then begin with questions and just sit and do that consistently. The consistency is the key. And so I did this every day for a year, 2 years, maybe even 3 years. And before I really felt like, oh, okay, I've got it now, boom, it was easy. And then it became automatic to connect to that channel within me. Now, I didn't necessarily still understand everything about my mission. And that word is a little bit, it doesn't resonate as much as it used to. But when I add sacred to it, my sacred mission, my purpose, my meaning, how can I bring that forward in this life? And it's always growing and changing and evolving. But the idea of this first momentum action pathway is simply to open that channel, and that requires consistent connection and reconnection to your essential self and the light you are at your core. The second momentum action pathway is to identify the deep desire that lies beneath. So you want to tap even deeper. There is likely a life desire, a desire for life, to come to life and live in full expression that is beneath the question you're asking. And so just sit with the initial question and let it take you deeper and deeper and deeper, and draw on the power of your story of life, to awaken the presence of an authentic desire for real change in your life. And you don't have to rush this. You can wait, or change in the world as well. It may be that your question or desire is born out of a collective situation, or just the way the world is. And so what you want to do in the second momentum action pathway in this map system is to identify the desire beneath, and often you can go like many layers down. I remember one time when I was just curious, and for a long time, couple of months, I sat with this one question that was, I thought, the main question in my life, and it would always lead me deeper and deeper, and I began to draw that out and track it, and it was like 7 layers down or something. So really begin to, in your consistent practice, begin to identify the deepest desires of your heart and soul. The third momentum action pathway here is to know the journey that you've made. So how have you been from here to there and back again, and bring your full attention to all of the truths and the teachings and the learnings that have come from your journey, your own life's journey. And as you continue to walk in the way of that journey, bring your attention to a grounding and a rootedness in, I am here and I have been there and I have made this journey, and along the way I notice these things. Now that could be a literal journey as into where you've been, but it really go a little deeper. Oh, I see that I've made this journey with regard to work and career, with regard to relationship, with regard to my ability to value myself. And just notice whatever that is for you and be open to it. And just begin to consider the journey that you've made. If you feel drawn to journaling, use SEEDS journaling practice. SEEDS is an acronym for Soulful Exploration for the Essential Discovery of the Self, just my language, but you can use journaling as a tool, and you can begin to capture, or you can even map it out, and draw the map of the journey that you've made. And really understand, kind of where you are and what it is that your life's journey has really been teaching you. And often it's something that is a surprise that we haven't really, tapped into on a deeper level. So the sacred mission map, as we want to connect to and communicate our life's calling, first we have to discover it. And so this journey that we've made, these first three, the channel, opening the channel, and then identifying the deeper desires and the deepest, and then knowing the journey that we've made so far, are all the foundational components to understanding your soul's calling and your soul's truth and radiance, your star power, as I like to call it. The fourth momentum action pathway in the sacred mission map is to consider the territory that you've traveled, similar to the last one. But this time you want to identify the signposts that you have encountered along the way. You want to get the true lay of the land and see the bumps in the road and where you took a turn on the path. And really, I would here really encourage you to draw out a map of the journey that you've made in the territory you know. So the territory you know, you might have a particular field of study, a career, a creative practice, something like that. That's something that you know. It's a territory that you know. And then there are probably been times in your life where you've encountered territories that were unfamiliar. For me, this would be more like technology and in parts of business and money and finance. And so, or, like in the realm of relationships, it might be a certain type of issue you always bump up against. So whatever that is, really consider the contours, the detours, all of the ways that you have seen areas, or signposts is what I call them there, is areas where you're like, oh, must stop because I'm not supposed to go there, or something where there has been an unexpected turn for you, or something where you feel perhaps a sense of inadequacy or failure. So you want to consider the successes, the perceived successes and failures, because really there's no such thing. It's all one journey. It is all walking in the way of your life. But for this purposes of this momentum action pathway, you want to consider the territory you've traveled, and you're going into the territory of your soul, and you're exploring that, and you're seeing life through that lens. I'm going to move on, but I could talk about that one a lot deeper. Number 5, momentum action pathway or map system, is to paint a vivid picture. To paint a vivid picture of your desired destination or your new state of being. So you want to create two images. And you can do this through meditation, or you can actually physically draw it out. I always find that useful, but you want to have two paintings or images. One, what do you really desire? What's your desired destination for yourself, your life, as you know it now? Of course, it's always changing. And then what's your desired destination for the world, the larger environment? You could do this on a smaller scale too, with your family, your community, your nation, or you could do it with a particular issue, global issue. So what's the big dream for your life and for the world? What's the outcome you really desire here? What's the result you want to see? What precisely will change in your life, in the world, when this happens? So tap into the emotion of that change. You want to really get deeper into that desired outcome, that desired destination. While it's all about the journey there, you want to get that picture of the vision, because the vision, see, is linked to that deep desire, and you'll begin to see the threads of that desire. You identify the deeper desire, perhaps for life and life to the full, but whatever that deeper desire was for you, you'll begin to see links between that and this, your vision for your life, for the world itself. And I would encourage you to capture those here as you're moving through these momentum action pathways. The sixth momentum action pathway is to explore why moving forward is essential now. Why is it important and essential, in fact, that you move forward in your life? What happens, what's lost when you don't, when you delay the decision to act? When you put things on hold, waiting for the perfect moment? What's gained through your decisive action and your reconnection to your work in the world? And then also do that on the more global scale with the global issue you identified here, because see, both are actually ultimately connected. I talk a lot about the individual and the collective levels, but they're all one when you just zoom out a bit. So the sixth momentum action pathway here is about the why. Like, why is it important that something happens now with this? What are you actually losing that we often don't look at when we just say, oh, well, I don't know yet, I don't have it figured out, or I can't do anything yet, and make ourselves small, or likewise in the world when we give up on the world conditions. So why is moving forward essential? Number 7 momentum action pathway is to be present to the first step on the path. So you want to understand the very first step that you can take in your life and your life's work, and then you want to understand how can you invite someone else to meet you on the way of the journey, of the path that you are traveling, your chosen avenue. From your deepest desire, because that's informed, the direction, of course, is informed by what your desire is and where you want to go, your vision for your life and for the world. How can you invite someone else to join you on this transformative journey? What exactly is the transformation? How can you communicate that? How can you tap your fine gifts of original design and bring your full attention and awareness to this deeper purpose, and to the creation process as you are on the way? So it's always about being present to the first step or the next step, one step. So identify those smaller steps that you can take, and maybe just always know that you can veer on a different path along the way. You could turn back around. You're free to choose. And so just be present to that first step, next step. All right, and then number 8, momentum action pathways, to celebrate being on the way. So walk on, step up, step out, be a pioneering spirit. That's why you're here, for life's daring adventure. And celebrate with the others who are on the way with you, and honor those who choose their own paths, which you may look at it and think, why are they going down that path? Well, just honor their choice to go where they choose to go, because that celebration of life and the celebration of the dance of your life and the celebration of the dance of life, broadly speaking, will allow you to embrace a whole new way of seeing yourself and the world around you, and it will connect you back to you and who you are, your sacred mission, your soul's unique purpose, your life's calling, and why you have come to be. So those are the 8 momentum action pathways to connect to and communicate your life's calling and your soul's sacred mission as part of the mission map system, number 6 of 8 seed systems. I'll repeat the momentum action pathways again just briefly. Number 1, open a channel within. Number 2, identify the deep desire that lies beneath. Number 3, know the journey you've made. Number 4, consider the territory you've traveled. Number 5, paint a picture of your desired destination or new state of being. Number 6, explore why moving forward now is essential. Number 7, be present to your first step on the path or your next step along a certain path. And number 8, celebrate being on the way. I just want to say also that there is not necessarily one path. In terms of your life's calling, I'm a good example of that because I definitely have really 3 streams of my soul that I draw upon. For me, that I have typically called them art, healing, and faith. I would use different language at different points, but the ideas of art and creativity, the idea of healing and coming to life, and the continual growth and change, and then the idea of faith and spirituality and a rootedness and a connection to nature and life itself. So just keep that in mind as a context here, because this has been like a surface look at the mission map system, and I don't want you to get the idea that it's a concrete, check, 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 and you're done. It's always evolving and growing, because we are always evolving and growing, because your soul came to be in this reality so that you could evolve and grow and learn from life and give to life. So that was the mission map system, and tomorrow we will be back and we'll take a look at the expansion map system. I'll see you then.